In Untold Tales of Spider-Man Annual 96, a little unfriendly neighborhood rivalry between Spider-Man and Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch, sparked a wicked idea in the mind of the ever-crafty webhead. He would ask Johnny's sister, Susan Storm, aka the Invisible Girl, out on a date. That would surely aggravate his hot-headed frenemy, right?
They're lovely. I can't remember the last time I was brought flowers.
Thing is, he didn't actually expect her to say yes.
Why don't you come by tomorrow night at 8 to pick me up? And don't be late.
Sure. Oh man, I've got a date with the Invisible Girl.
Meanwhile, while Spidey and Sue were taking to the skies to find a place to eat, Johnny Storm was taking to the seas and finding a spot on the waters to, heat up. And when the water hits boiling point, one of Sue's old flames emerges. The King of Atlantis, the ever-formidable Namor, aka the Submariner. And Johnny gets up to some, let's just call it, fishy business.
Susan Storm, a captive? Quickly torch! Tell me where!
Oh man! This is too rich! This is gonna be great!
Anyway, back to Spidey's date with Sue.
Do you realize who that is? Not him. Her.
I mean, I thought when I finally decided between Reed and Namor, my troubles would be over. But now Reed's so distant and distracted.
Torn between Reed and Namor. How can I say, look, think about me for a change?
When I know the responsibilities they have to worry about day in and day out, how can I even ask?
Fear not, Susan Storm!
Hold on, Kimasabi. I hate to borrow someone else's line, but it's blubbering time!
Man.
Hey guys, hope this little comic bite got some of you in the mood for love, or at least in the mood for some pizza. When we was thinking about what nerdy thing to make a video about for this Valentine's Day, this was the first thing that came to my mind. My girlfriend doesn't really read Marvel or any American comics much. She's more into romance and horror manga. But this is one of the comics that I gave her to read that made her into a part-time Spider-Man fan. The thing is, I'm not really much of a fan of superhero comics that dive too much into relationship stuff, so I jumped off a lot of Spider-Man story arcs that went in that direction. I also could never get too much into the X-Men, because if I had to read another comic where Cyclops is moping over Jean, I would likely have joined an anti-mutant organization. But I love this comic because it's a throwback to a time in comic book romances, or in this case, failed romances, that were a more innocent and playful thing. More modern comic romances have either become depressing, deranged, or just plain wrong. And if you're wondering, why is Spidey trying to hook up with Sue when he should be with Mary Jane? And why is Sue Storm agreeing to a date with Spider-Man when she should be with Reed Richards? Well, that's because this comic, despite being published in '96, was canonically set around the same timeline as the original Amazing Spider-Man comics from the 1960s, specifically issue 8, where Spidey and the Torch clash, and culminates in Spidey leaving Sue Storm a charming web heart. This was the '60s Silver Age, where there was no Mary Jane yet, and not even a Gwen Stacy yet. At this point in the Silver Age canon, Spidey was actually about to be romantically linked with his first girlfriend, Betty Brant, and Sue Storm and Reed Richards were not married yet, and I guess they were probably barely dating. Reed back then was still the kind of guy to show more affection for his experiments than he would for his girlfriend, and Sue was feeling all neglected and stuff, so as much as Spidey asked Sue out in order to play some devious mind games on Johnny Storm, Sue probably accepted the date with Spidey to play mind games with Reed. I do sometimes wonder how things would have turned out if Sue and Spidey ended up together. Like, would they have had kids that would have spider powers and could turn invisible?
Teenagers, just the worst. Miles, where did you go?
I'm right here.
Where? I can't see you.
I'm right in front of you. Can Spider-Man turn invisible?
Not in my universe.
You just poked me in my eye.
This is incredible. Some kind of fight or flight thing.
What's that?
Yeah, you know what? Let's not overthink that. But anyway, fellas, the moral of this story is maybe give your girl some attention this Valentine's Day before she ditches you for a merman or a multiversal dictator or something. And if you're single, always remember pizza will always love you back.
T-5. Before we went up the first time, you couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means. And Johnny never caught fire.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us,